Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Second Barn. I wanted to take a second and welcome you to my home and show you around my home studio. This will now be my 7th home studio build. What? I've been getting a lot of questions about my home studio, my gear, and things that I use. So I want to quickly just take a second, show you guys around, and yeah, let's go take a look. Enough. Ah, shit. We've arrived in my home studio, so let's take a look around, huh? One of my favorite stations in the studio, the coffee station. You've got to have one of these. Quick access to coffee, and I usually just drink a ton of water. Kindle, so that when I need to take a little break, and that's just a small air purifier. Nothing too crazy there. So you'll see these little premium acoustic paneling, little pieces all around the room. Some old records that aren't really played. What is this? Aris's, so it's TLC 3D clean album. I have Eminem's album up here. I'm Shady. 2 Live Crew. Oh man, 2 Live Crew. Google First Reflections, and when you understand how First Reflections work as it relates to your listing spot, you're gonna want some paneling. So this is just simple 24 by 24 panels, about 1 inch, 2 inches thick. If you can find it, if you can get it, and you should be able to get it. They're everywhere. So when sound comes out of your speaker, it doesn't just come directly to you. It comes out and it goes wide. And the first reflection point for me was right at this first panel. The second reflection point was right at the second panel. So you want to put paneling right where your first reflection points are. I have this is a custom bass trap. It's just it's about 6 inches thick. And I just have it hanging. And I have it hanging from some hooks that I drilled into the ceiling, and I'm probably going to have to fix that when I leave here. but it's worth it. At the Beats by Dre station down here, with the diffuser, my diffusion flavors here. Beat Studio 3 here, and then I have my earbuds. You know, you can never go wrong with checking mixes there. It's a simple lighting here. You know, simple lamps from Amazon, $10 lamps, and you just throw some colored light bulbs inside. In this room, I had a huge problem with bass frequency, bass resonance, and I actually still do. It's just hard to control. You can't. It's nearly impossible to control bass in a small box like this. Prime Acoustic Bass Max traps. So I have one on each corner. I have some diffusers here. These are from Diffuser City. When I first moved to the room, I actually saw a picture on Instagram that I really liked. But in the picture that I saw on Instagram, the back wall was actually real wood. And I just kind of wanted the effect. So that's just wallpaper. By the way, Gambit is my favorite X-Man. He's the best X-Man. If you want to fight about it, leave it in the comments and we could talk about it. I want to tell you quickly about my 3 best friends in any home studio build. First, Velcro. Get you some Velcro. Get it now. Get it quickly. Get it ASAP. Velcro is my #1 best friend. When you're living in an apartment building, they hate for you to drill into the wall. They hate nails. Now I have this is actually heavy duty Velcro, really thick, heavy duty Velcro. But what I use my Velcro is anytime I want to hang something on the wall, Velcro is a great option outside of a nail. So the worst thing that can happen as far as damage is concerned is that maybe you have to repaint. So everything you see hanging on my walls, for the most part, is adhere to the wall using Velcro. Get some Velcro. Number 2, get you some putty. I'm actually almost out of it. It's great whenever you have a desktop setup like this. You're not working on a console or anything, but you have a desktop setup. Get you some Velcro. It just kind of keeps everything from moving, you know? So whenever you're hitting the pad or pressing a knob, things don't move. That's awesome. Finally, get you some cable organizers. Clean space equals clear mind. And the best way to kind of organize all of your cables, because you have gear, you have cables, you're gonna have a lot of them, are just little cable organizers. Adhesive at the bottom there, little sticker there, adhesive. And all they do, just keep they kind of have a loop here. Put the cables in, pull the loop, and keep things organized. Velcro to hang, putty to keep things in place, cable ties to keep things organized. Period. I also have a little bit of acoustic paneling in the back of the room. You know, just a few things. Let's start the monitors. This is just a simple monitor from Amazon. Just have that running all the way to the back to my laptop. This is a MacBook Pro. That's a 15-inch, and I'm running a i9 8-core. I actually have an external GPU running in a chassis back here. That external GPU houses a Vega 64 graphics card. So for video editing, when the Mac Pro isn't enough, that Vega kicks in and takes me the rest of the way home. All my cabling is organized via the cable straps that I told you about. So instead of having cables run all over the place and take over, just cable tie them. I actually have a couple of rogue ones here that I'm going to address soon. I run my UAD Apollo Twin, just hiding under the desk. And then I have a solid state Logic 2 Plus. Reason why I have both of these is because they're both mobile. So if I ever want to go, whenever I travel, I just unhook one of these and I take it on the go with me. It's great for a mobile setup. SSL 2 Plus is running my Outboard SSL Fusion. So the SSL Fusion and my warm audio bus comp. Two really great units. I call this my magic box. This scratches my itch for outboard analog gear. So when you're in a hybrid setup and you need a little bit of analog color, Fusion is just magic. And I like having an outboard bus compressor just to be able to run the signal through. That's going out of my SSL 2 Plus into the Fusion. Hit the insert button here. That goes out to my warm audio bus comp. The bus comp sends it back into my Fusion and back into my SSL 2 Plus. Let's say this on camera. This is a PlayStation house. Drop a comment below if you want my gamer tag and you want this action. I literally had to fight to find the sunset orange color. Sold out everywhere for some reason, but that's my favorite. I'm gonna have one other functioning. Then I have a couple on display and they don't work actually. They're just kind of busted controllers. A couple of stands I found on Etsy, little $20 stands on Etsy, and I just have my Avantone Mixcubes, Gambit from the X-Men, one of my daughter's toys here. And this guy's from Game of Thrones, Flash, Iron Man, and this guy. I'm running some Focal Solos for my main monitors. These are my mains. These are sitting on ISO acoustic monitor stands. And my third monitor option, I run a Beats Pill. If we're playing on some consumer grade speakers, they sound good there. So it's my third monitor option. My Avantones for my mid-range, and my full-range main monitors are my Focals. My monitoring system gets run through my Drawmer MC3.1. Now I got this tip from Mixbus TV on YouTube. This is my favorite thing in here. 5 different input sources, so I can switch from my computer. I can go from my computer. I have my PlayStation plugged in here. If I want to watch TV, or if I want to do an auxiliary jack in, I can just go right here from my auxiliary. It's like my inputs. It's like my monitor. So if I want to go from my mains are A, my Mixcubes are B, and my pill right now is C. And then there's a dedicated output for sub. In addition to having so many inputs and the ability to switch individual subs, is the ability to isolate your frequencies. So you can isolate your lows, you can isolate your mids, and you can isolate your highs. So when you're checking a mix, it's just as easy as pressing a button, and it's right in front of me. Damn, that's good. So anything I'm listening to on my system gets passed through my Clarity M. Clarity M tells me whether or not my mix is too hot, too loud. It also has a real-time analyzer, a loudness checker, just metering all over. Also, I have my Console 1. Really everything that I have in here are my favorite things. All the things I have in here are my favorite things. I've purchased, I've gone through 10 different pairs of monitors. I've gone through every controller piece of hardware that you can find, any kind of DAW controller, any kind of plug-in controller. I've gone through it, and I've landed on the Console 1, and I'm probably never going back. You have to have one of these in your studio. Just the ecosystem that they have when you're controlling the Console 1 plugin. Plus, you can load other UAD plugins into the Console 1 ecosystem and control the UAD plugins. So that's why it's my centerpiece, right in the listening location, right in the center. So I have that there. I run a fader port. I run 2 fader ports. So this is the fader port 1, and I have it puttied, which is why it's really on there. And you can see I just want to have a little putty on the backside. I was looking for a stand. I'm actually still just looking for a stand for my fader port, but for now these are just door stops that I found on Amazon. $10 for 4 of them. So I just have 3 of them here. Keeps my fader port propped up. Just putty it down. So now we're back at the same height as everybody else. And keeps everything uniform, looking good. And my second fader port I have here, my fader port classic. The reason why I run 2, because I'm right-handed. When I'm running the mouse here, I use it for my transport. I use it for my output fader, which is why the output's always lit. I use it for my output fader, my transport, and then I use the mix, project, and transport buttons for my windows. And the reason why I've kept it for so long is because I love the tactile button press. Feel that click. And when you press it and your music starts and you feel that click, oh, there's nothing like it. This has more functionality, so I use it in complement to my Console 1. And if I want to scroll or change channels, and I have a bunch of different other options. There's user programmable buttons at the bottom that I also use. So this is a Kensington trackball. You'll see it in every studio. It's just easier to get around than a trackpad, in my opinion. So my keyboard, I have drilled to the bottom of my desk. So this used to be, my Mac keyboard, this used to be a stand for the MacBook. So I actually cut it apart, took the arms, and I drilled the arms to the bottom of the desk in order to create a stand for my keyboard. And by the way, the desk itself is from IKEA, 72 inches wide and maybe 60 inches deep. I just wanted a really big desk because I knew I wanted to kind of load my desk up like this. This is a complete Control 88. Quick Control 88 key, and I have a Machine Micro MK3. I'm a keys player, so I wanted the 88 key. In the same way that I drilled my makeshift keyboard to the bottom of my desk, I also did my 88 key keyboard stand. I drilled to the bottom of my desk as well. I found this 88 key keyboard stand on Etsy. So if you search on Etsy for an 88 key keyboard stand, you get it, and you can just take some nails and just drill it to the bottom of the desk. And it just so happens that this fit perfectly, and it just slides right in. Sometimes it gives me issues. It's a little wonky. If I'm being honest, it's a little wonky. But maybe in the future I'll get a new desk. Knob control. Nope. You have to see me on this. Knob control. Get a knob control. Come here, come close. Knob control. Get a knob control. This little guy is the smallest but most heralded piece of gear that I own. I love this thing so much. I'm such a fan. I'm such an advocate. NOB, if you Google it, NOB control controls any of your plug-in parameters by the turn of a knob. It feels just like hardware, so all you have to do is hover your mouse over a plug-in parameter, turn the knob, and it's just like turning hardware, it controls that. So it's basically a hardware controller similar to a Console 1, but this controls any parameter and it's not limited in any way. And there's some other extra features on here, but you have to act fast. When you go on their website and you see that there's one available, you have to snatch it up within the hour. They're usually sold out and they don't have any more for 3 or 4 months at a time. You can't find them on eBay, you can't find them on Reverb. Get you one of these if you can get your hands on it. This is the third one that I've had, and I will never sell it again. I will never sell it again. This is just an iPhone charger I have puttied. If you saw my last video, this is the Fender Mustang Squire. I love it already. I may or may not keep it. I'm still trying to decide. Bass is actually a little too small for my hand and my finger and my spacing. And I just prefer my Ibanez 506, which is here. And I don't need 2 basses, simply because I'm not a bass player. So I'm just making a decision on that right now. The Townsend Labs Sphere L22. This is another piece of gear. This is my my microphone. It's another piece of gear that's hard to find at the moment. It's just one of those hot pieces of gear that that just sound really good. You just have so many emulations of different microphones and they all sound great. A lot of post-production features, so where you can change the proximity effect and curve, and you can actually change the mics after you've recorded them. So this is a very, very, very versatile mic. This is another piece of gear that I've purchased a few times, sold, and I purchased again, and I don't think I'll ever sell it again. Another one of my favorite pieces of gear. You guys all know the Slate VSX by now. If you follow my channel, if you subscribed, it stays on my desk because that is this thing is freaking good. I have a DT770 on the side and my DT990 Pro, just hooked up to some Amazon hooks, and you'll find those anywhere. Under my desk, we're rocking a Apollo Firewire. I use it for the extra processing power, and if I need to test out some hardware gear, or if I, in the future, if I want to get more hardware gear and load my rack up, my Odyssey rack up, I have the option to do that. I also run a Behringer KS10 sub. I almost forgot about my little guy back here. I do have a third audio interface kind of sitting alone back here, and that's my Audient ID4. And this is just for utility if I want to have the option to run a different input through just running my computer audio through the Audient and through my monitor controller, and I'm just switching. In the case I want to reference tracks, I have my input 1 is my Apollo, and then my input 2 is my Audient ID4, and all I have to do is switch between computer audio, which is Tidal or Spotify, and the track that I'm working on, and I can reference the track just by pressing the button and the inputs, switching the inputs there. On the back of my chair, if you saw my video, my last video on the back of my chair, this is kind of one of the secret sauces. You need a sub pack. When you live in an apartment building and on those nights when you cannot play your music loudly, you just want to kind of really be immersed in the sound. Hearing music is one thing, but feeling the music is a totally different dimension. And you can add a whole nother dimension just by adding a sub pack. Sub pack is an essential piece that you have to have, in my opinion, if you live in an apartment building. There's no way you're cranking these up to 10 and not getting a complaint from your manager. In addition to all of the paneling and the acoustic treatment and stuff like that, because my room has dips and peaks in the bass frequency area, which is where I have the most trouble at, I do use Sonarworks calibration software to tune my room so I can kind of help control those bass frequencies in addition to the bass traps and the acoustic cloud, the ceiling that I have above my listening position. So I do run Sonarworks calibration software, and that's a huge part in any bedroom studio that I've mixed in, that I've built, and I've tried to create a workable environment. Definitely get your hands on Sonarworks calibration software. You're going to need it. I guarantee it. All right, so that's it. I spent a lot of years accumulating all the pieces that I really love. It might look like this now. It might change in the future, so don't forget to click like and subscribe at the bottom so you can kind of keep track and keep up with the changes that are being made around here. Let's talk about the gear. Let's talk about what you have. hopefully you can get something of value from this video and get you 1 degree closer to 212. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving me a comment and a like. And I'll see you next time because I have something really, really cool for the next video. And I'm buku excited.